Oh, the sessions here at Connections were all deployment related. So I was lucky enough to get to do a full day pre-con, and I tried to cover all the deployment tools in one day so that people could just get a little tiny flavor of each one, and then based on that they would know which tool they would want to go use when they get back. So I just wanted to give them kind of the highlights of the tools, because it's so difficult to try to figure out which tool am I supposed to use, and Microsoft has come out with even more now, and we're flabbergasted that they keep coming out with additional deployment tools. We're like, enough is enough. Why don't you just use what you have and make them better? You know, just improve that process, improve the documentation, make it easier for people to use. So I think that's where a lot of people get confused, is they don't want to use the tools because they don't know which one to start with. And they're afraid to spend a lot of time with one tool and then find out later on that they should have been using something else, or some functionality that they wanted isn't in that tool. So the pre-con was a lot of fun. And then I had 2 other sessions, and they were deployment related. One was securing your deployments. And this is a talk that I've wanted to do for a long time, because people don't know where passwords are stored and how many passwords are stored in clear text. And so I wanted to walk them through all the tools and show them in the different ways where your passwords are stored, which ones you can obfuscate and which ones you can't, to make them aware of the fact that you don't use domain credentials here if you can get away with it. Or at least don't use domain admin accounts to join machines to domains, because these credentials will be in clear text. And then the last session was on VHDs, virtual hard disks. And I thought, nobody's going to come to a VHD talk. This stuff is so easy. It takes 15 minutes to sit down and figure it out. But I ended up going the entire 75 minutes. The room was packed. There were tons of questions. People were really interested in it. So I'm glad that Don Jones, the speaker chair here, made me do the talk. Because about a week before I said, can't we swap this one out for something a little more fun? I don't think anybody's going to come to this talk. And he's like, no, 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 you have to do the VHD talk. So I'm really glad that he made me stick to that one. Well, really, I don't know if I would call any of them hot, new things. There's the Express Deployment Toolkit, EDT. And this is like a scaled down version of the other tools. It's just completely wizard driven, and it's so that a small company could create an image and have it deployed within like the first hour. It's a very simple, very basic tool to use. So that's EDT. And then there's the Sccm, the System Center Configuration Manager, has the Virtual Machine Manager, so VMMs. So to deploy virtual machines, you have a tool in there that allows you to deploy. So that is a way to help you deploy virtual machines, although all these technologies work in virtual environments. That's how I've learned everything, is in virtual environments. So they all work there. But VMM has a couple of extra like little add-on pieces. One thing that's really cool you can do with that is you can do a physical machine to a virtual machine, and it's a no-brainer. The complete process is automated. So you can kind of point to a physical machine, say turn that into a virtual machine, and within an hour, I mean it's really pretty quick, it turns it into a virtual machine, and you could sit there and just be pinging it, and you realize, okay, physical machine's going down, next thing you know the virtual machine's coming up, and all of a sudden it's live again. It's just really seamless, and they did a great job with it, but it is yet another tool. And then there's one tool, P2V, I guess it's physical to virtual, and that's an add-on to the MDT. So now with the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit, you could create a task sequence that says, okay, I'm going to deploy an operating system to that computer. It's currently running XP, and there's some application on it that we just can't get to run in XP mode and won't run in Windows 7. So a last-ditch effort would be to turn that XP physical machine into a virtual machine, so you can store that wherever, and then convert the operating system on that machine from XP to Windows 7 so someone can go ahead and use the machine with Windows 7 on it. So those are kind of the newest things that are out. Yep, TechEd is coming up, Atlanta, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. That's really the next big conference that I'm doing, and then I'm going directly from TechEd to Slovenia for their Tech Days. And this is one of the prettiest places on the planet. I love Slovenia, Porto Rose. And it's just this really teeny tiny seaside village, and it still looks like it's, you know, 2,000 years ago there. It's just beautiful, and there's huge mountains with just wisteria flowing all the way down the mountain, and it's just so beautiful. I love it. It's also the truffle capital of the world, which I thought was really bizarre to be in this little teeny tiny place, and you'd order macaroni and cheese and they would give you shaved truffles on top of it. You know, here in the States that's really expensive, but there it'd be like, you know, $7, $8 for a macaroni and cheese with shaved truffles on top. So I'm looking forward to going back there. It's a really, really nice venue. I am getting back to training and offering public classes, so getting out of the consulting side of the house and taking what I've learned from consulting back into the training classes. And I have a 4-day that I'm going to be doing May 2nd, and that's a hands-on class. It's in the DC area, and we're going to just start from the beginning. People are going to install the tools themselves, and then we're going to build deployment solutions, and we're going to do the Windows Automated Installation Kit, Microsoft Deployment Toolkit, Windows Deployment Services, and System Center Configuration Manager. So in 4 days you are going to get all the products. And when you walk out of there, you will know which tool you're going to use and how to set it up and exactly what you want to do with it. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. But there will be additional classes down the road, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do one a month or probably one every other month. But you can find out information on my website, www.deploymentdr, that's for deploymentdoneright.com. And on the first page there, you'll see my little schedule of where I'll be. And then if you want to get information on the classes themselves, just go to the classes tab and look at either the 3-day or the 4-day. I have a lot of clients right now who are bringing me in-house to do private classes, which is why I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to open up and do the public classes. There are a lot of colleges right now that are bringing me in. I get to come back down here to Florida in just a couple more weeks and go to the University of Florida in Gainesville and do a 3-day class for them. So I'm really looking forward to that.